Good morning, Scorpio. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Scorpio, this is going to be your weekly read. This will be December 8th. Today's the 8th, Monday, November. Oh my God, I keep planning to say November 8th. I did that during the channel members video this morning. I brought up November. And then it's December 8th. There's a reason. I would say go back to November 8th. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Past tense. Go back to November 8th. I don't know, maybe like think about if you had an appointment or sharing of information. What were you doing that day? Do you have pictures on your phone? I don't know. There's just something about November 8th. So do go back a month and see what the hell was going on then. And we were also... that was the day before, I believe, Mercury went retrograde too. So maybe words or something that was said coming back around somehow. Something to that effect. But regardless, let's try this again. December 8th. It's Monday, December 8th, Scorpio. And this is going to take us to what? Let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th, December 14th. So... yeah, there's that. My appointments for this week are filling up pretty quickly. The 26 reads, if you are aware that I only am doing guaranteed 5 slots right now, and we'll see where I am with those shortly, but I think those are pretty much just an email away from being completely confirmed and just about booked up, but you're still welcome to reach out about those. And then if you're interested in a personal reading, that information is also found in the description box below. So the email's down there. Reach out to me through that. Channel memberships are open. It's always nice to have everybody on the channel membership side. Discord is up and running. I think Adam is working on some things on that side for me there. And yeah, I definitely have cut back a little bit on the workload. Obviously, the videos aren't coming out as quickly as they were, but in time you will all know and understand. So I'm sure you'll be like, oh, okay, makes good sense now. But yeah, just bear with me. All right, Scorpio, let's get down to the messages. You know, this morning, I woke up to I was not congested until just now. Oh my God. I woke up to a crazy ass dream, and I'm not going to get into it because I know that it also had my own personal messages in there. But the energy has been strange. It's been unusually quiet. But yet, there's been a buzzing sound. Like, I think the best way to explain it is, like, where I live is somewhat near an airport, so we'll hear the planes take off sometimes, right? And then, of course, the trains in the back. And you could associate it with, like, the long-distance rumbling of a train, right? Or the buzzing sound that you would hear of a plane taking off near an airport. And it's like that first takeoff, and then it just kind of fades into the distance. This buzzing, for lack of a better word, that 333 on the clock that I've been hearing all morning. At one point, I was like, "Is the house falling down? Like, what the hell is going on?" And waiting for it to kind of dissipate, and then it wasn't, and then it kind of came a little bit nervous energy, going, "Why hasn't that let up yet? It should have let up by now." But I've heard that sound a couple times over today, where it just kind of hovers. It's like, you know, you kind of make jokes like I don't know. Everybody believes in their own thing. If you believe in UFOs, I guess, you hear the mothership, right? Kind of hovering. It's whatever sound. I don't know what sound they make, but something hovering. Definitely something hovering here, Scorpio. I'm going to pause this for a second and try to clear up this congestion because it's going to make me crazy. We got a long video to go here for the days of the week, so hang tight. Okay, let's try this again. I think we're good. Maybe. I hope so. Now I feel like I've got to sneeze, right? So, there's that. I might sneeze. I think somebody had said in the comments, like, maybe it's something in my house that I'm allergic to. No, it's the environment. We live in the woods, right? So there's always allergies. And then as I've gotten older, my allergies have shifted from spring to fall allergies are the worst now. So it's just one of those things. It is what it is. I go to the ocean, I clear up. Why? Because that's what they do. Seeker, Scorpio, something is going on this week that has got you ears wide open, eyes observing. But I also feel like you're being extremely cautious with, here, now I sing. Now I sing, Scorpio. What are you singing? Oh God, Scorpio. I said, you know, what are you singing about? And Spirit said, the praises of the people that show the fuck up. You've got a oh God, Scorps, you got a problem with people who don't show up and aren't consistent. And the people that do show up, do you trust it? I think your energy is a little Spirit fickle. You're watching for inconsistencies this week. And you're like, no. Observing. I said, yeah, observing. Omen. Caution. You're being, there's something you've caught on to, Scorpio, that you are waiting November 8th to December 8th, waiting for something to circle back around. You're waiting on something here. And my ear's congested again, so here we are. Whatever. You're waiting on something to circle back around, Scorpio. And it's almost like you're trying to hold the controls of something. You know, I'm kind of seeing this as like somebody who's playing a game, like an Xbox controller or something, right? The thumbs, the way the thumbs are positioned. And trying to control the matrix. You're also sending out signals. Things could be sending out signals to you, right? I just want to go beam me up. I don't know what the correlation to fucking UFOs is today, but and aliens, but there you go. It's like, beam me up. Are you listening? There's frequencies, there's sounds. Pay attention to the images you see. I can think back, oh God, it's probably been 5-6 years ago, and we had this tree out by the business that we had, and there was a storm that came through, a windstorm, and it took down this really big branch. And the branch, the one part of it was very, like, pointed, but you could, like, I still have a picture of it somewhere. But this tree, like, this branch was huge. Like, I'm 4'11", and this thing was taller than me. And it was thick. It wasn't a tiny branch, but the way that it was, like, staggered, right? Like, branches never just straight. It had fallen, and the very tip of it was all that was even close to the ground. And it's like, when you looked at the way that it stood there, there was no way in hell that that branch in itself was sticking out of the ground with the weight that it had at the top without just toppling over. Like, it didn't even make sense. It was barely in the ground. But when we sat there, we could see the life force energy just rippling off of this branch. It was the craziest thing. It was like watching electric, like, float around it. And it was almost like it was levitating. It was like it was levitating. It was the wildest thing. And when I talk about the aura, the frequency, the whatever the frequency is around something right now, this could be you, this could be something that is around you, but it's also the frequency that you're trying to pick up on or emit outwards, or what you're needing to receive at this time. Scorpio, this last month of 2025 is powerfully chilling and changing for you in ways that, I know I've said it before, but I don't know how to put it. I don't think that there's a word, and if there is, then I just don't know it, to describe the deeper spiritual connotations to what is happening to your life from another plane, time, dimension, paradigm, whatever you want to call it, timeline. You are shifting timelines again. You are shifting paradigms. And this isn't like 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D. This is your entire existence. This isn't jumping from this to this. If we're going to compare it to something, you know, Mario, Luigi, congratulations, you've moved on to level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. It's just a level. It's not the world itself. Does that make sense? I hope so. But you probably feel the shift. You know, I had a client who emailed me, and I have such a long list of emails that I'm going through, so if you haven't heard from me yet, please be patient. I promise I'm getting to you, hopefully today. But she responded to an email that I had sent, and all I seen was the opening line said something like, I don't know why I'm so nervous about 2026. And I haven't got to read it yet, and you know who you are, and I promise I'll get with you shortly. But I thought that was very intriguing. That line really caught my attention on a fussy kind of way, but not in a bad, not bad, but it's like, I don't think we need to fear 2026. There's no fear needed in that. But I think that this new feeling that comes in with how different it's going to be, the old traumatized Scorpio can't help but be the cat with the hair standing up on the back of its neck, right? A little defensive, a little squeamish, a little concerned. Spirit saying within well reason, though, too, Scorpio. It's not for nothing. It's because you've learned, but there's an awareness to it this time that makes the situation different. I hope that's making sense. I want to clarify this Seeker card with a different deck. What is the Seeker card for Scorpio, please, Spirit? Compassion. White swan, black swan. White horse, dark horse, right? Destiny. I'm telling you, this is just something that you're absolutely aligned with. You're needing compassion at this time, or wanting to be loved or feel compassion at this time. Scorpio, you tend to lean into your darker side of things, right? 14 is temperance. It's not even 10 a.m. and I'm yawning. There we go again. Oh goodness. This is conviction, Scorpio. Destiny. It's conviction. Like, you know that there's more. It's as above and so below as well. So there's something happening, for lack of better words, about what you see, what you know, what you're requiring and acquiring. I'm even hearing in the next life. You're not going to take whatever this lesson is into the next life again. It's done. Whatever it is, it's done. You know, and that 8/26 is 8. It's like I said, what comes full circle. November 8th to December 8th, something coming full circle. So Monday through Friday here, Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know? Curiosity and loss of control. Scorpio, you're like, I've seen this, been there, done that before, and I'm curious to see what comes of this. There's a need to look, a need to know, a need to see this week about you, and I think that your best bet would be to sit back and just observe right now, okay? Just sit back and observe and watch the, I'm going to say cravings. Like, as a person who used to smoke, I just had a strong craving. So if you have old habits, right, old habits die hard, Scorpio, just do pay attention to that, please. Don't let those triggers trigger you to make piss poor decisions right now, because you're trying to fill some kind of, I could say void, but you're trying to fill something. It's almost like you're trying to protect yourself from something. You don't find a different way to protect yourself right now. Don't lean back into old habits and patterns. For Monday for Scorpio, straight, yeah, it's almost like hermit mode, Scorpio, in the reverse there with the work. You know, go inward, work on yourself. It's almost like, you know, using work as a distraction, using other things as a distraction. on Monday may be a necessity for you. That it's almost like that's where you find your most cooperative self to help you get through whatever you're feeling today. Tuesday, cool down, calm, pause, solidification, underlying, ascending. Today might just be a really tough kind of day in general for some reason. It's like trying to find a way to work effectively. Some of you could be shutting other people out of your work or what you're doing. You may not be sharing. I don't feel like you're sharing a lot about what you're doing. It's like and or what. Like there's something about you're not sharing something. On Wednesday, immortality. There you are, Scorpio, your fine, fiery self. Third parties, though. What is that about? We'll come back to that. Intuition, trusting that. On Thursday, shadow side, reverse side, something else exists. Greed. And then on Friday, for Scorpio, taboo. There you are again, Scorps, with the guard, protect, and firm. Okay, let's clarify. Let's get down to it. Underlying, clean, clear cut decisions. 3 C's in that. Check out this Destiny. He's got that sword of truth, right? And it's conviction as he points it towards the ground, and acclaiming oneself. And then this firm, and I said earlier, as above, so below, before this card came out. This is like my Queen of Swords in this deck, except for that sword is pointing upward. Affirm to yourself. There's a message of there's communication coming in this week, Scorpio. The FM dial, right? Thank you, Spirit. That's also, Spirit's pointing out to me immediately that FM dial is law of attraction. What frequency, going back to the beginning, what frequency are you on, Scorpio? What messages are you what are you tuning in to hear? Spirit, is it deliberate? Is it institutional? Is it rational? Do you even, I might just swap this out and do something a little different here. Do you feel that you're getting the truth, Scorpio, on something? I almost feel like this message, and this is a bit odd because I've never seen it like this, is one big full message for this week in general. As you handle these various situations, my clothes just feel tight or restrictive somehow. What version of the truth are you getting? Is it your truth? Is it their truth? Is it the truth in between? Or is this some other level of something? And I think that this Ascension card with cool down is going, we need you to bring it back down to earth for a minute, Scorpio. Try not to get too worked up. Try not to get too in your head. Try not to overthink particular situations. At least not yet. Okay, at least not yet. I'm going to tell you this, though. I don't think you're delusional, delulu, or cray, right? As they say. I think there's a lot of background buzz going on around you. You're tuning into different frequencies. You're hearing different things. It could be noises. It could be conversations. It could be people. It could be places. It could be the FM dial, right? It could be lots of things. Like you're definitely tuned into something and trying to decide, trying to weigh what side of this is factual, Scorpio. What is fact versus fiction, and and this fictional, non-fictional. What is right? What is not? What is true? What is a lie? The Emperor. I'm gonna leave that over there. So this work and street in reverse Spirit. The Ace of Wands. King of Cups. The Spirit just, the King of Cups we would see in the upright is the most emotionally balanced person in the deck. And we know, if you've been with me for a while, I read my cards, they all show up in the upright unless they force themselves to come out in reverse, and there's the Three of Swords. I was going to say, this doesn't really feel, as I just saw this without this initially, he doesn't feel, I'm going to call it a sound mind and body to me. He doesn't feel super emotionally put together to me. And I read my cards by the intuitive side not the way that they necessarily pose themselves. If they come out in the reverse, Spirit's doubling down on me to say, hey, this is absolutely just the opposite of what you know to be a truth typically. But this Three of Swords is like there's a pain here that you might not be sharing with other people, or a pain that somebody else is having that they're not sharing with you. Maybe you're bleeding out into the background, or they are too. It's kind of like, let's just let these certain things fade. Let's stay on course of just this thing right now. Let's stay busy, drowned and immersed. Ace of Wands, it's action oriented. Stay immersed in our work, stay immersed in other things, you know, focusing on the tangible, the 3D, and not the Seven of Cups, not the emotional confusion of what is being pulled in other ways around us, or what else, you know, where our emotions are leading us. The emotions are not stable this week, Scorpio. I will pardon the sniffles, god damn it. The emotions are not stable this week. There's something here that it's like you're trying to decipher. It's kind of trying to put things under a magnifying glass or some kind of scope to really take a deeper look at what the hell is even transpiring, and trying to make emotional sense of what the hell is happening and why the hell it's happening at all. It's confusing, and yet you're still trying to keep yourself very composed. I mean, the King of Cups is extremely composed, right, in his efforts, but your Judgment and the Three of Swords. Been there, done that, seen it all before. It's like, Scorpio, it's like you're bracing for impact. If, you know, let's just say, right, you were somewhere once before where an earthquake had happened, and you know what that rumbling under your feet feels like, right? And you happen to be, I'll just use the airport as an example. You're at an airport and, you know, some jet or something goes to take off and it makes a similar rumbling effect. Your trauma brain goes, oh my god, an earthquake is here again. But yet really it's not. It's just a familiar feeling, right? It's not the same thing. Some of you, to be honest with you, might be looking for someone to come in and save you. It's like knight in shining armor, where are you? Somebody give me the answers. Somebody tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this feeling. Tell me which end is up, which is good or which is bad. And I think that's part of the lesson this week, Scorpio, is to understand what it is for you. You know, it's not about everything else outside of you anymore. It's about you internally. And it's been a part of yourself that you've been learning a lot about, and probably a lot about yourself for many, 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 many years. But as we complete the cycle of 9 in this collective year, it feels foreign to you because it's been a part of your existence for so long. So what do I do with just myself? How do I love myself completely and not feel like every time the ground shakes that the world is coming to an end? Talk about trying to find stability within oneself and making that judgment call on you for what you need. That's a heavy burden, I guess. You could call it a burden, maybe. A blessing and a curse. Anything else on this on Monday? Whatever you're trying to do, the answer is no right now. Don't overwork, don't overdo it, don't overthink it. Don't think that there's a third party in this particular situation that is interfering. If anything is interfering, it is the past self, whether this is you or someone else or both of you. There's a past interference from the self, not from another person per se, right? In most cases, on the spiritual level, that is. On Tuesday, ascending and cool down. The moon. Subconscious dreams. You might be getting some Nine of Wands. I said defenses earlier. The moon here, Scorpio, is you could be getting some great response through your dreams. Two of Cups. Somebody that you love or care about could be responding in the dream state to you. Soul level connection for the sake of healing. You also, if this is a partnership, may not know how this is going to, I'm hearing like there's a lot of 25:52 on the clock, mirroring a lot of I don't know if I want to call it aggression, but there's a lot of fucks, right? It's like, what the fuck is this? Frustration. Thank you, Spirit. So pardon the swearing, but I'm going to deliver the message as I get it. Do with it what you want to. But the Tower here with this, nothing is as it seems, but it's pushing you forward one way or another. And it's kind of like there's parts of you that I feel like wishes that this would just settle down so you can gain some sort of clarity. But you're also dealing with somebody, it's like you may be impatient, they may be headstrong, you may feel naive, they may feel self-assured. The energy of two sides are all over the place. It's all over the place. One way is this way, the other way is that way. It's a quiet competition, even within oneself. Why can't I get past this? Why can't I move on from this? Why can't I shake this feeling? Why can't I change my frequency? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why can't I? What is it about that thing? Because there's some level here, Scorpio, of rebellion that comes in with this change for you. Or maybe this is somebody you're dealing with. Could be an Aquarius, doesn't have to be. Very fixed sign sort of energy, though. I would say Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. We also have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio again here. And Scorpio, Aries, again, with Sagittarius. So, you know, it could be any sign. It doesn't have to be. But it's the idea that how do I explain that? What you may be proud of or wanting to be proud of, you are. But then there's a trauma from the past. It's like you're already leaning into something, Scorpio. But there's a trauma from the past that keeps that excitement dim. And then you've got something on the other side of it that's very excited as well, but doesn't show it. Right? Frequency. Doesn't quite show it the same. You tend to show it. You're expressive out loud. Somebody else is not, but you're doing this. You're both doing the same fucking thing. You're both doing the same thing, and that is causing internal tower moments for people across the board this week, Scorps, especially in your life. Something is. I've said it. Distance. You could be at a distance from this person, and divorce. This could be somebody from your past that you've already divorced, or somebody that you're contemplating a divorce from, or walking away from, something that you've had to separate yourself from. But there is a DD, right? Like, what's that country song? I'm going through the big D, and I don't mean Dallas, right? Like, the letters D. The letter D in general is important. But you got to leave something behind. To ascend, we have to leave the old life behind. To go to a new house, you don't pack up your old house, the whole structure, and take it with you, right? You get a new car, you don't stick your old car in the trunk of the new car and take that with you too. You've got to let it the fuck go. There's something here that needs to be let go of, Scorpio. For both you and someone else. To manifest, you have to be on the frequency of that manifestation. And it's like somebody's struggling here. It's easy to daydream, right? Seven of Cups. It's easy to dream about what we want. And I've said it before and on and off throughout this, maybe the last 6 months of this year. You get what you want and then you don't know what to do with it. I don't think you thought of all the possibilities. And it's kind of like looking at Spirit and going, clever, very clever, Spirit. You got one over on me. I thought I had thought of all of the things, but I guess I didn't. And that's why Spirit is like, you need to be in flow. You need to be flexible this year, Scorpio. You need to let 2025 take you to where it's needed to take you, and you need to let the last weeks of this month direct you accordingly. Because it's not going to look like the way you thought it would. I've said it, other readers have said it time and time again this year. And all we can say, or all I can say on behalf of myself, and I'm sure others may agree, it's been said via Spirit for a reason. We just have to listen. We have to tune into that. Why the separation, Spirit? Boundaries. Both sides of a situation are afraid from the past that it's going to be a repeat. Scorpio, are you living in the energy of the past? Because if you are, nothing is going to change. Wednesday, this immortality in affairs. Strength card in reverse, 4 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Pentacles. For some of you, you have been, and I will give this to you, you've absolutely been cheated on. You have been fucked around on. You have been dragged through the mud and then some, right? You have really seen, you know, what a home wrecker can do, if that's what you really want to call it. But I don't think it's them as much as it is the person that's in your house doing the things that they're doing, right? Like, they have the responsibility to uphold the sanctity of the relationship, not the person who's just out doing whatever. They should know better, but the person in your purview is the one that you need to look at. So it's like, how do I move past this? For others of you, the third parties have been all kinds of things. Work, energies, money, distance. 7 of Pentacles. How do I work towards that? It's planning. Like how do we plan around this third party energy? And again, it doesn't have to be a person. What is this third party about, Spirit? It's getting your affairs in order. Thank you. 10 of Wands sideways. It's getting your affairs in order. 4 of Pentacles. Scorpio, it's like you're trying to secretly, you're holding back something. You're absolutely holding something back. I could say to you, you know more than you say. But I also think there's somebody else that's also... This is like the most fucked up game of chess I think I've ever seen in my life. Or poker, right? Poker. Everybody is just going, let me wait and see what so-and-so does before I make the next move. It's a stalemate. Everybody's guarded. High Priestess. I didn't even realize the High Priestess was sitting here. 8 of Pentacles, the Chariot. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to say the first thing? Who's going to do the first thing? It's like the Wild West. Who's going to shoot first in the shootout, right? Who's going to reach for that back pocket first? Who's going to say the thing? Who's going to bring up the elephant in the room first? Scorpio, you're one that taboo. You're the one that most often will push the envelope and go, okay, let's talk about this. Scorpio, I don't think you should yet. I don't think now's the time. Why is now not the time, Spirit? Look at that, the King of Cups and the 7 of Cups again. This time the King of Cups comes out sideways. There's the Two of Cups again. You're kind of riding. There's the High Priest. Double down on the High Priestess. Seriously. You and someone else, again, are mirroring, waiting for the other person to have clarity when you're both sitting in the Seven of Cups. You both want love, nurturance, protection, emotional balance, but you're both weeble wobbling. One of you believes in pushing things away temporarily, while the other believes in hanging and clinging on to it. Your frequencies are off. I was doing something the other day and it said, you know what, it's like, I was channeling, and it said, imagine yourself being 6 months ahead from where you are right now. And imagine the person that you're dealing with being 6 months behind where you are right now. That's a full year's difference. Do you see what I mean? The frequency isn't the same. High Priestess is backed by the Knight of Swords. Again, the need to go after something. The High Priestess here is backed by the Eight of Pentacles, trying to work on something. To go after it or to stay still and keep doing this thing. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles with this High Priestess is also an avoidance. And that High Priestess with the Knight of Swords is someone's going to have to make the first move. Scorpio, I don't even think that this is one particular part of your life. This is multiple things. God forbid, right? God forbid, Scorpio, that you would just have one part of your life that would need some tweaking. But the energy that you feel is something that comes in, I think, more on a collective level for you than it does just person to person. You feel the energy shifts. So when the next person shifts, you feel it before it even happens. It's like this heightened sense of awareness, right? With the High Priestess. What else on Wednesday? Spy. See, someone's waiting for someone else to make the first move. Waiting and watching. Guardian. It's kind of like, if you look at Peter Pan, right? We'll use Peter Pan as the example. Like, I never want to grow up. And Peter Pan has Tinkerbell fluttering around, watching, overseeing. And then can you imagine if Tinkerbell had a little tiny fairy herself, or a little tiny godmother? It's kind of like that. And Scorpio, I think you're watching somebody who you're questioning whether or not they're going to grow up. It's somebody here going to mature. Maybe it's even you, right? But somebody. I think, again, multiple people on multiple levels as you close out cycles. Have they learned? Have they grown? Have they matured? Have you learned? Have you grown? Have you matured? And you've got this little guardian, if it's not you, fluttering around. And that guardian's got a guardian behind it, pushing you, right? Somehow. And at the same time, Scorpio, if you are the guardian, you're kind of like watching over somebody here in this physical existence, and they've got somebody watching over you for you. I hope that's making sense. And if it's you that is trying to figure things out, you've got two. Maybe an ancestor's a guide and a little angel kind of fluttering around, helping to guide you at this time. It's an interesting way of seeing it. I've never seen it like that before. Excuse me, guys, I'm so sorry. You'll understand in time, but my eyes are heavy all the time anymore. Shadow and greed on Thursday with the Emperor. If you sit back long enough, Scorpio, there is something or someone specific who's going to start to show their true colors. I'm getting two stories here. Ten of Pentacles. There is one side of this who wants to, I said, control, right? Greed and the Emperor is doubling down on control. because of Ten of Pentacles, what they stand to lose. Shadow side to the Ten of Swords in reversed. It was the ultimate betrayal to this person on some level, again, separate of this. You've got somebody here, and I keep seeing this duality popping up, Scorps. You have one side of a situation who really wants to overtake and run away with control. And you've got somebody who doesn't necessarily want control, but their control mechanism is for safety purposes. It's not out of greed or opportunistic type of stuff, right? I'm not saying that it makes it right. I'm just saying the intention behind it is not the same. This greed and this Emperor spirit for Scorpio on Thursday. Page of Pentacles. There's an offer. There's information. Somebody's offered up some sort of information to an Emperor. Could be a Libra or an Aries. Doesn't have to be. Somebody thought they were doing the right thing. Did they, though? I do think they did in some way. Yeah, there's support. Look at this. Check this out. Four of Wands. Somebody, in speaking some sort of, I'm going to say truth, there's an acknowledgement. Well, it's a message. Pages are messenger, or pages, right? They have messages to be had. So this Daughter of Pentacles, right? This Page of Pentacles. You see her? And look, I said, why did they do that? Check it out. The Mother of Pentacles. They're protecting a feminine energy. The one that protects them. They're protecting the one that protects them. This is about their stability and their security, their legacy, the Eight of Pentacles. Right? This is them working to protect somebody from this Emperor energy on Thursday. Someone is protecting another person here, Scorpio, from this greedy individual, this self-righteous son of a bitch that's sitting here. I mean, that's just, I'm going to call it for what it is. Somebody is interjecting. You may have children that look identical to you. I'm talking spitting image, 4242 on the clock. That 42 was up here earlier, right? Or no, that was in the channel members read that number come up. It was important, 24 and 42. But the ears, I said, people are listening, Scorpio. I think this is you, and whoever's close to you, you're listening. Somebody else younger doesn't, they half listen. They're a little jaded by people's responses to things too. But that's part of the issue, is they're not hearing what they thought they would hear either. I don't think you are either, Scorpio. Nobody's doing anything yet. Everybody's in observation mode for some reason this week. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. This shadow with the Ten of Swords in reverse. This other person, the Magician. The Six of Cups. Ace of Swords. On this other side of the situation, the truth is going to come out, Scorpio. This could be, again, tied to children, family, the roots of the past. But the Ace of Swords, this could be brutal. Ooh, fuck. The Devil to the Tower to the Ace of Swords. Cunning. Oh my. Brutal. A truth that they finally say that you weren't prepared for. This is, if this is, I'm going to say this might be for one or two of you. This is not going to be for the overall. This is, this could be like a long time family secret of something you don't, I mean, you want to know, but you don't want to know, right? Like this goes way back. Goes way back. There's a reason a person couldn't let go of some kind of painful situation. Like they wanted to be okay. They've asked for help in precarious, odd ways. They've asked for help in odd ways. They don't function in thought the way that you do either. But there's a very stark fucking truth that comes in with this, and the swords here, the magician's sword with the ace of swords, the lightning, like it's the devil. It's cutting to realize this particular truth and how far back this goes, Scorpio. I don't even think that this person recognizes how far back this goes and or why. Clarify the Tower, Spirit. The Seven of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the High Priestess with the Ace of Pentacles. When we're looking at Scorpio, it's almost like you've got some kind of weird competition happening here. With the person with this crazy truth, the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, it's going to put some, they've withheld because they felt like they would be held responsible for something. Okay, like all the attention is going to be on them. They may not like attention on them. But it's happening regardless. It's going to happen. There's a truth that has to come out. Now, separate of that, this Queen of Pentacles, these other cards came out. Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. It's a messenger, right? But there's still something, Scorpio, that you're not moving on. You're not saying, you're not doing, you're not moving on it for some reason. You're protecting. And it's funny because the Knight of Swords is a deliverer of communication. He comes in quick. But I also think you're reserving the right to say something. The High Priestess keeps secrets. The Son of Swords blurts them out quick, fast, and in a fucking hurry. It's almost like you're overseeing somebody else making statements and you're not denying or affirming something here. You're just letting it happen, whatever that is. You're letting what sprouts from what is happening do just that. It's funny because by Thursday you are coming from a King of Cups kind of sideways and wobbly into a whatever happens kind of stance. You're finding your footing by the end of the week with whatever this is. And in turn, Scorpio, it's like every time you find your footing, the world around you, the frequency, the ground shakes for everybody else. You're going to have to let these people fall and figure out the lessons themselves. Any more on Thursday? Oh my God, I said watch the addictions. So much communication. Somebody could literally just be addicted to communicating with you, which sounds a little silly, but it is what it is. Anything else on Thursday? Thank you. They were manifest, tell the universe exactly what you want. Caution, find out more and let go. You are that High Priestess. You know, she sits back and she listens, she observes, paying attention to the frequency of what's going on around her. And again, it's like by the end of the week, you're kind of like whatever happens, happens, right? You're letting things kind of pan out as they need to, and you're loosening the grips of emotion. I'm going to say emotional control, Scorpio. You're not trying to dictate the matrix. You're just letting it happen. Taboo and guard. What is this about for Scorpio for Friday? The World and the King of You find stability in the most awkward places. At least that's the way that it's perceived to other people. You could find... Hold on. Dr. Seuss, right? Think about the books. Like, I'm seeing it as... I'm seeing this Two of Pentacles. Like, I forget what book it is. But, like... Well, it's the one, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And it's like, oh, my yak, right? He's got like this, he calls him what, a yak, and he's got like 3 legs, but he's standing on one, and he's balancing a book in this hand, and his right hand's up to the sky. Like, I think I've got those books in the other room. Like, I just want to go, actually, yeah, Spirit's saying go find one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, Scorpio. I think the book that I was actually thinking about was In a People House by Dr. Seuss. I've always loved the Dr. Seuss books. But I did pull out, I had these for my daughter ever since she was little. But I said it's like you're comfortable in the most uncomfortable places. Like you find your connection to all the things in the most awkward spaces. It's like being a mountain goat, right? 51:15 on the clock there. But like here, let's just go with this one. Did you ever walk with 10 cats on your head? Like, look at this girl, right? Look at her. She's got that plank on her head, and she's got the 10 cats, and nothing's really even, right? You would think they would fall over. I talked about that branch earlier. Like, it's not... It's like, how would you balance that when more weight is towards the front? You would think it would just fall down, right? Scorpio, there's something about you that says the same thing. Like, look, this is the picture that I saw when I was flipping through real quick earlier. There's she's on that, which she's then on this, and then she's sitting there to get her hair done. Things are stacked up on top of each other. You know, it's in the most awkward of ways, right? Taboo, or things that it's like, it makes us question it. It's like, you know, certain sexual behaviors, like, ooh, you do that? Oh God, like, who does that? You must have something wrong with you, right? Shit like that. Scorpio, you find stability in things that would make most people's skin crawl. The fact that you do what you do and you adjust to it in itself could make other people's skin crawl. It doesn't have to make sense to them. It has to make sense to you. And when you close, and it's funny, I say to you, when you close that door, it's not yet completely closed, Scorpio. You ever, like, I use it as the example here. The other day I was getting a shower, and I thought I had shut the door. Like, I pushed it shut, but the latch didn't latch. So, you know, I'm in there showering, and it wasn't. You know, 5 minutes later, I could feel a cold draft. And I looked down, and between the shower curtain and the clear curtain, I've got 2 cats sitting in there watching me, right? I'm yelling for my daughter to get them all out of it, and there comes the dog, right? Everybody's followed me into the bathroom. I thought that I had sanctuary to get a shower in peace, but apparently not. Scorpio, there's great significance as I say that to you, to that plastic shower curtain, clear shower curtain in between me and the cats. They can look, but they can't get to you anymore, right? The door not latching entirely. Could be metaphorical, hell, it could be physically, it depends, right? Spirit's saying metaphorically for most of you. You have Taurus. Taurus again, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius here. You could be trying to safeguard yourself from Another fixed sign. But you're teaching them something about victory and success and what that looks like. It's kind of like the, call it for what it is, the hoity-toity people in high school that are, you know, better than you. Or if you live in a community where, you know, if you don't drive an Escalade, you're a piece of shit kind of thing, right? You really don't give a shit. You're like, this is who I am and this is what I do. And you can take your opinions and you can stick them. It's like, yes, I can be a good mom and be covered in tattoos, right? I could be a CEO and have gauges in my ears, right? It's somebody's trying to judge what you look like versus what they perceive versus who you are versus how you actually are accepted as. Like, if who you genuinely are, God, I hope the way I just worded that makes sense. There's always going to be room, that door being not quite latched, for people to poke or pick or peer in. But it's like, you know, the world card, I said, like, obviously I'm in the shower, I'm naked, right? Like, not trying to be funny, but there's a vulnerability to her nakedness, right? My cats, like, not that they're sitting there judging me going, whoa, look at her chunky thighs, but, you know, there's a vulnerability in, like, you're trying to shower and you're being watched. You're trying to live and you're being judged, right? I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to do your thing. Spirit, leave your judgments at the door. Whoever this is you're dealing with, leave your judgments at the door. What about this for Scorpio? Love spell, you've been bewitched. I just heard they've been watching you. Challenges. The well's about dry, Scorpio, on something here for you. You know, I look at this bottle and the first thing that comes up is how little is left in there. There's a lot of hocus pocus in the, you know, a lot of, what do they call that? Like bubbles or mist or whatever you want to call it. But the challenge here is keeping that cup full. Let's just say if this is a relationship, if nobody's pouring into the cup that is between the two of you, then what the fuck is there to have? It isn't like anybody can sip from it and be happy. It's like you or them, Scorpio. Pregnancy. That's Spirit saying optimal birth, renewal, right? Open your heart. The letter P, the name Paul could be significant too. There's 4 P's. Ladies, some of you could be dealing with perimenopause and you're finding patience in ways that you didn't think would ever be possible. Literally, breaking news, a 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck offshore Japan. I started off talking about earthquakes. So there's that. Whatever this is, it's going to shake some foundations, Scorpio. Someone is still trying to figure out who they are. But somebody also just needs love. Was that Paula Cole from the City of Angels soundtrack? I need love, I feel love, or something like that. A little bit of a, I don't call it a raunchy song, but it was definitely a little more Spirit's using the term floozy. But maybe this is how someone looks at you. You know? Somebody's got an opinion of you, Scorpio. And I don't really think that you care. You're just trying to get through whatever this is untouched, unfazed, unbothered. Your energy's in a very strange place right now. And I've been fidgeting this whole time. My lips are chapped, my ears clogged. You can have a lot of little irritants around you, a lot of things getting on your nerves. But with that World card, cycles, fate, karma, something ending and something new beginning, Scorpio. And that Two of Pentacles, it's like Two of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles. You could be, I don't even know. You could be on the top of Mount Everest, standing on top of a yak, on one hand, with a plate of green eggs and ham, and be like, I'm happy. You would find stability in how to make it home for you. You understand the alchemy of what life requires. Alchemy with the Two of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles to the Queen of Wands. You just know what it takes. And you're navigating people, and probably have been, Scorpio, for a really long time. That they never, I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody else down by any means, but they never had what it took to get to where you are. So as you are in this place, and you're still figuring out what it does take for you as you change and evolve, right? As you ascend, you distance yourself so that you can recalibrate your wings, if you will. You let people deal with their third-party shit because you are no longer accustomed to dealing with third parties in whatever capacity that looks like for you. You require other people find their own strength and not be a bloodsucker of yours. You've definitely got somebody who knows something, and the elephant in the room is, Scorpio, it's not that you won't talk about it, but there's a part of you on an internal level where you show no outward signs of acknowledging what you know of a situation, but knowing what you know internally and kind of chuckling about it. It's that idea of the person who thought they had gotten you. Something you've long awaited, probably the last 2 to 3 years specifically, for fate to come full circle. And you're like, I got you, motherfucker. But part of that is also an awakening for yourself. Because it's happening in a very odd way you didn't suspect. And you've got somebody else who is awakening. It's like, I don't want to say the tables have turned, but the table that you were dealing with is no longer the same table. Hell, it's not even your table anymore. It's for somebody else to figure out. You're just like the waitress serving the dishes. Here's your pasta. I want to say, sir. Not even serving the dish cold, Scorpio. Serving it hot. And going, is it good? Don't burn your mouth. You're making people question if they can trust you. Which in some strange way I think you find a little bit funny. Because you know this Queen of Swords messages. Bonfire, home, talent. Of all the people in the world that could be trusted, it would be you. Especially those of you that are in your higher selves. And to find your balanced equilibrium by the end of the week and saying, It is what it is. Spirit, the rest will shake itself out. Let them judge me. They have no idea. Scorpio, I don't think that any 1 week, the rest of this month, is going to even look remotely the same. Because the emotions are up and down. Everything is in flux. The frequencies are not the same. And you're just trying to tune the dial. And in the middle of it, you have a lot of what you need. I just don't think that you believe enough in yourself to know that you do have what it takes. You're a little tired right now, and that's okay. Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in a personal read, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. I'm sending you all so much love. Take fantastic care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye.